I have 2 copies of Nirvana, Nevermind, in my hands here, but there's a fundamental, very important difference between them. One of these records is an off-center pressing. The other one is a newly reissued copy that doesn't have the same problem. So in today's video, we're going to demonstrate what an off-center pressing looks like so that you can identify it, send it back, and demand a better quality record. So I recently purchased and made an investment, I guess, into the 21st anniversary box set issue of Nirvana's classic 1991 album, Nevermind. And it's a really cool box set. It comes with a remastered version of the album. It's a nice gatefold version of it on a nice matte, high quality card and everything. It's all really nicely packaged up. It comes with several live performances, some of which have not been released before. And it also comes with a really cool 7-inch single with some B-sides on there, and of course it does come with a really cool booklet as well with some previously unreleased photos. But that aside, that is not the main thing we're here to talk about today, and perhaps I'll do a nice unboxing of this box set in the future. But what this does for me is it replaces my copy of it, my original copy that I had, which was punched unfortunately off center, and it's been bugging me for ages. I just can't play this record, and I end up just going back to my original CD copy of this album, which actually is a pretty good sounding CD of the 90s. It's a little bit before the whole kind of loudness war stuff, and it was a pretty good sounding CD release, but I wanted a vinyl copy of it, and this I believe was just a fairly cheap back to black copy of it that I picked up from a supermarket. So probably not the best pressing out there, but to get anything off center is always very frustrating. So in today's video anyway, really what we're going to do is we're going to talk about off center pressings, what it looks like to get an off center pressing so that you can identify it very easily. So it's just going to be a very simple demonstration over at the turntable where I'll show you both records spinning, and you'll quickly see which one of these records isn't punched in terms of the center hole where it should be. So what you're looking at here now is the off-center pressing version of this record. Note first of all, straight away, that the stylus is rocking from side to side. Now, this is a textbook way to spot that a record is punched off center. But what does that mean exactly? Well, a record pressed off center, meaning that the spindle hole is not central to the grooves stamped on the vinyl record, is a glaring pressing error. And what it will result in is small speed discrepancies as the disc is spun, causing audible wow and flutter pitch drift. So if you notice that one of your records is causing the stylus to rock from side to side like this, then I'm afraid, unfortunately, you've got an off-center pressing. This is beyond the normal movement of groove modulation and is a glaring pressing error, as I say. This is, on the other hand, how it should look. Notice straight away how the stylus is sitting nice and steady in the groove. It isn't rocking from side to side, so our center spindle hole is punched in the correct place. Now, if you have an off-center pressing that's just turned up a brand new record and you're tempted to try and replace it for a new one, sadly you will probably find that if that particular version of the record is pressed off center, chances are it's affected the entire batch. So the only thing to do is to look for a different pressing of the record, and there's not really anything you can do to properly fix the problem either. The only way to try and attempt to fix it is to crudely try and widen the spindle hole and then manually center the record each time you play it using a record clamp or a record weight of some variety. And this is less than ideal and is a bit of a farce, to be honest with you. You're probably better off sending the record back. And just before we wrap up here, I'm just going to show you one last record that you will see, sadly, is punched off center as well. And with this album, I can really hear the problem stand out like it's night and day, because it's got so many long, drawn out, sustained, drony sequences on it. It's also got lots of piano chords that sustain, and it's this kind of material where you'll really hear the problem stand out like a sore thumb. So as I say, what you will hear is you'll hear the pitch change, and that's why it's so obvious to hear on long sustained chords where the chord should be the same note, but you can hear the pitch start to drift. So that concludes today's video. I hope you found this useful, a very simple demonstration. Have you got any punched off center records in your collection? Let us know as always down in the comments below. And also, this is all too common as a manufacturing error. So what do you think as a vinyl community the industry needs to do to tackle this problem? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. Thank you ever so much for coming here, and we'll see you in that next video. Keep spinning.